Hi, my name is David, and what we're going to be looking at today, or what I'm going to show you, is what I'm referring to as the Flexi rig. Now, I use a Panasonic GH2, and I do a lot of videography, but I also do a lot of still camera work. And I've used various rigs that I've seen assembled DIY on YouTube using plastic tubing, etc. But they've never given me the flexibility that I wanted. So after a lot of time and thought and quite a few different iterations, I've now come up with a rig that suits me perfectly. I can do my videography and it really stabilizes the shot, and at the same time it's got a lot of adaptability and use for me to do macro photography, for example, and also long shots where I'm using the X-Tele mode. And this is the rig here. So we're going to look at this in more detail shortly, and there's some very unique parts about this rig that so far I've not seen done anywhere. I'm sure you've picked up already this magnifying glass. Now, I cannot tell you how awesome this has worked out for me compared to a fixed LCD viewer, and I'll explain a bit more about that later. So this is the rig, and we're now going to look at it. I'll take the camera off and we'll look at it in a bit more detail. There's some very unique points, as I mentioned, about this rig. Now, the way that I've got this set up is that I've got two quick release plates here, and that gives me flexibility with regards to the lenses that I use. One of the lenses that I've got has got power controls on the side, so I use this back quick release plate there. Now, the construction of the rig is made out of the normal irrigation pipe that you get for your garden, but there's something different about this, and that is that I've combined normal irrigation pipe with high pressure water pipe fittings that are used on internal water pipes, flexible pipes in the houses, well, here in Australia anyway. And this is an example of one of the fittings. Now, this fitting here is a T-piece, and what I've done is I've connected to the rig here a threaded end piece, and this threaded end piece goes into this T-piece on either side. What that does is gives me a flexible joint, and this has been really useful in the design of this rig, and then how I'm able to adapt the rig for various uses and functions. Now, I've also done the same thing here on the back shoulder end of the rig, and I've got a flexible piece here which is screwable, and I've got a flexible piece here which is screwable. Now, to give the rig a bit more stability, I've used some stainless steel plate. This is bolted through the main bar here. It comes along and then it folds around the pipe here underneath, and that securely fixes to the rig, and it gives me a really nice stable platform. It took a bit of drilling because it's very hard stainless steel. You may well be able to get away with aluminium, I'm not too sure. It certainly makes the whole thing stable. Now, I'll give you some indication of how this rig can be used when it's on the shoulder. Here, this section gives me a lot of support at the back, and I've got two hands here so that I've got plenty of stability and I can move around. Now, one of the things that I did do was I purchased a remote trigger or shutter. This cost me $3.50 off of eBay, and this can sit on the side here. When I want to use it otherwise, I'm able just to pull it out from this Velcro strap and use it remotely with my hand. But what I find is this gives me a really good ability to use my thumb for controlling, and at the same time I can just press my finger on there and do the shutter. I'm not fiddling down over on the top, so that's quite useful. Now what we're going to do now is take this rig back to my home, and I'll put it through its paces and show you the really awesome flexibility that it gives me. Okay, so here's the rig, and like I said, one of the reasons that I like the way that it's been designed is that I can use it for video and also for still photography and get really good stabilization. Now I'm going to turn the camera on so that we actually get some video of the camera, just to give you an idea of how stable it can be. So couple of things with this setup, and particularly with the magnifying glass, one of the benefits that I get is that I can actually shoot the video with my eyes open, both eyes open. When I look into the magnifying glass, I've got a full view of that LCD, and it appears as if it's like 5 inches, a 5-inch LCD. It is absolutely enormous, and I've got a clear vision of what I'm videoing, but at the same time I can see all the way around the periphery. One of the things I really hated about the LCD viewer that I had attached to the actual LCD was that I had to have one eye closed. I had only the view that the camera was giving me, and I could see nothing around me. And I do a lot of photography and videography of sporting events and things like RC cars and planes, and there's always something going on, and I need to be aware of what's happening on the periphery, and this just gives me an awesome ability to do that. Okay, there is the LCD screen with the magnifying glass away. I'm going to try and hold the camera in the same position now and bring the magnifying glass up so you can see the difference. And you see the difference there where the corner of the screen is compared to the actual screen. And now I bring it up. So there you go. It is enormous and just massively useful and usable compared to a LCD viewer. There it is without the magnifying glass. There it is with the magnifying glass. Okay guys, I hope you found that useful. Okay, so that's part 1 of the video. Now make sure you check out part 2, where I'll show you how the rig is used for macro photography, how we've got pan and tilt, and also how we can even do vertical views using a number of additional items that I've designed to add to the rig. And I think that you'll find it quite interesting, and it's a great rig to build and certainly have a look at anyway. So I'll see you on part 2, and in the meantime make sure you click the like button below. See ya.